Hi, this is Lynn the Mystic Chick, July 31st, 2026. I bring messages for the Jewish people from my guide Ezekiel, who wrote much of the book of Ezekiel. I do this because I love the Jewish people, their expressiveness, industriousness, inquisitiveness, and sense of humor. As Jews, I know you must be going through a hard time now, realizing that Judaism, as expressed by the Zionists in Israel, is so much different than what you've always thought it was. Many Jews believe Judaism is closer to God than most religions and philosophies. So they find the violence exhibited in Israel hard to process, as if they cannot believe Jews are capable of these actions. There are many Jewish online truthers now who are clearly against Zionism, breaking out of the mold of just agreeing with their hierarchy. On researching anti Zionism among Jewish people, I was quite surprised to see that this is not something new. There are many official Jewish anti Zionist organizations in Canada, the US, almost every country in Europe, including Russia, and in the Middle East as well. And it goes back many decades. But now these voices are getting louder and more public. Jewish filmmakers are taking a more clear and direct stance against Zionism in Israel. Movies such as Tanchura, 2022, Israelism, 2024, which was made by an ex-IDF soldier, The Settlers, a 2025 documentary, as well as countless online influencers, are reaching a younger and wider audience of Jews. I was curious about the percentages of Jews in North America who are in favor of Israel's Zionist policies and those who are not. So I went to my pendulum, which is an excellent divination tool, and asked, what percentage of Jewish synagogues in the US and Canada are officially in favor of Israel's Zionist policies? The answer was 60%. This is not surprising, however, because most rabbis are trained from a strongly Zionist point of view. But this does not necessarily reflect the opinions of the congregation. There are many Jews who do not attend synagogues. So I asked my pendulum, of all Jews everywhere in North America, what percentage support Israel's actions? It was a minuscule 10 to 15%. This means that whether or not they admit it, 85 to 90% of all Jews in North America do not support Israel's actions, according to my pendulum. And the same numbers go for Jews in Europe as well. In any case, there are still many Jews who are in favor of Israel's actions and still believe the narrative that Jews don't have good lives in the world and have to feel afraid all the time. This is the subject of today's channeling: the leadership and the people. What does it take? I asked Ezekiel, my guide, why is it important for Jews who are on the fence about Zionism to take a stand against it? His answer: because there is no likelihood Israel will change its stance. And with aid being supplied by the US, a political solution is not possible. Thus, there must be another buffer against Zionism that is ideological. If Zionism in Israel is not supported by other Jews in the world, and this is who they are supposed to be doing all the destruction for, then justification fades. It's an ideological blow to their having any claim to represent the Jewish people of the world. Ideological support of Jewish people is more important to them than you realize. Ezekiel is saying this. For legendary transmission of God's word is their claim to righteousness. Whether or not it happened in antiquity does not matter. The real question is, does this course of action affect Jews worldwide, positively or negatively? Jews are not going to leave the lands where they live in peace to go to a war-torn land that is run by lunatics. A moral schism among the diaspora is becoming more pronounced every day. A spell has been broken. The people need not follow their leaders if those leaders do not respond to the needs of the people. Ezekiel says, "Go forward, my people, and let your considered moral compass lead you on the way to integration, not opposition. For opposition invites fear, fear leads to insecurity, which leads to defensiveness, which leads to the breaking of the human bond. Instead, strengthen the bond so you will be respected by Gentiles, for they cannot fail to see your efforts towards the bond. You will now be able to recognize the rot from within, from those of your own people who have taken the dark path. Separate yourselves from them is my, Ezekiel's, advice. And watch your borders of those who profess unity with you, but not peace and integration with the world. The challenge is great, my people, but the rewards encompass a better life without fear." I sensed it was getting near the end of the channeling, so I asked him, "Is there anything you'd like to say to the Jewish people in closing?" He said, "I love you, my people, and I want to see you living in peace in the world. This change will make room for you there." End of channeling, end of transmission. In summing up, first I'd like to remind you that integration does not mean absorption. You as Jews are free to be as Jewish as you want in all the world, right? There seems to be a moral schism in the worldwide Jewish population. Up to this point, Jewish groups have always disagreed with each other on so many things. But it seems to me they put this aside, laughing at the irony of how all Jews having gone through the same history, but still having different beliefs. In other words, a Jew is a Jew is a Jew. But now the corruption of Zionism in Israel, as well as questions about its political, moral, and historical legitimacy, have many Jews questioning. Before, it would cause endless debates, but now the differences seem to be greater. As a psychic, I'm intuiting that many Jews still can't process how a group in the place of leadership could possibly be so morally bereft as the leaders in Israel and still call themselves Jews. As if there could never be any Jews who could ever operate from the dark side. But it's becoming more evident every day. My question is, will those who are like quiet children in an abusive family system choose by their silence to let the abuser go on committing the abuse? Or will they find themselves adults with their own reasoning ability, their own moral compass, and the courage to say, this has got to stop. I feel for you and I understand your pain. This family member was once beloved to you for one reason or another. How can you think of denying a family member? But is this true? Or are the Zionists as different from you as a giraffe is to a penny? Thanks for listening. This is Lynn the Mystic Chick, July 31st, 2026. Bye for now.